By the end of this video, you will know how you can turn your Mini Extreme into a powerhouse by having animations on your SuperSource. That's right, that's what we're going to talk about in today's Tech Condo. Now, in order to do that, I'm actually gonna also use this product right here, the Extreme ISO, and as you can see, it's not connected to any computer at all, so that's to make sure that you understand that you don't have to have a computer to make this work. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so actually I wanted to really turn on this ATEM Mini before this video. However, once I power it up and the HDMI comes into play, something happens that makes my video, this video right here, freeze. So that's the reason why I'm not doing that at the moment. And yes, this is live recorded, so everything that you see is really raw. Okay, so before I start to talk about what I can do with animation, I first want to explain to you what you can expect if it comes to the SuperSource. First and foremost, SuperSource is only available on the ATEM Mini Extreme and ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. Unfortunately, not on the ATEM Mini or ATEM Mini Pro or Pro ISO. That is not possible at all. But that doesn't mean that you cannot do a lot there, because you of course can still do a little bit of what I'm going to show you in a minute. But here you'll do a little bit more than what you are accustomed to on the ATEM Mini Pro. But let's talk about what SuperSource actually is. SuperSource, like I said, is a picture-in-picture on steroids. And what I mean by that is not that you only have one picture-in-picture. You can actually have not only 4 inputs, but 6 inputs in total. And that's divided into 3 layers. The first layer, let me show you, is the background. This can be a media player background, just a still. It can also be a camera input, for example, a moving backdrop. That is possible. On top of that, you can also add not 1, but 4 different camera inputs. That's right. So you now already have 5 inputs at the same time. And to top it all off, you can actually also add, for example, borders to make it even more nice. And that is what we call the foreground. So the background, the camera inputs, or boxes as they're called, and the foreground all together create the SuperSource. So that is what you will see in a minute. And I think it's important that you know that is what you're going to see, because there is a lot to see. So earlier today, I actually recorded this video right here, and actually you can see I have 3 videos moving in the same time. Actually, I can have 4 of that, but I only have 3 cameras, so that's the reason why. So here I added the background, and I also will flip to other predefined features. So like, for example, this one is a predefined one, this is a predefined one, and last but not least, this is also a predefined SuperSource that will be available to you. And next to that, you can also change the sizes, etc., etc. But I don't want to show you that here. I want to show that to you in the product itself. Now, before you say, why, Petra, why aren't you doing this live? Well, this is why, right here. This is what it looked like earlier this morning, and I cannot really work this way. I actually really need to focus, so I don't want to have everything on my desk at that time. But that's the only reason. There's no other reason for that. And again, you did see that I can actually, oh, you didn't see that, right? So you now saw how it looks like on the computer, but how does on the computer on the video, but how does it look like in real life? So this right here is actually the live picture that comes from the ATEM Mini. I'm going to go to the first one right here. So this is me via the ATEM Mini, via a lot of converters, so it might not be perfect, but it does what it needs to do. But now what I'm going to do is that I'm actually gonna make sure that I have the preset loaded, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a minute. And then I will be going to SuperSource, and that I can do right here. The SuperSource is right here. And if I then say cut, then the SuperSource will be available, and this is what it looks like right here. So here you have direct from the ATEM Mini, my custom picture-in-picture SuperSource. This is right out of the box, in the sense that you had to switch it on. There's no computer, but this is what it looks like. And it can do quite a lot of things. So this blinking, that is not the way that it looks like for me, but this is just because of the frequency of the camera. But if I would press this button, the first button on the macros, these are macro buttons, then this is basically my standard. This is the way that I initialize the SuperSource, because we have 4 standard options, but I would like to have my own option right here. So that is the first one. The second one is right here. This is number 2. If I click on that, look at that, boom, full screen. Well, full screen with a nice border right there. And this will allow me to, for example, have a presentation going, and you can see the slide, and you can really focus on the slide. But once I'm done, I can actually press 3, and then I'm coming back. So that is really cool. So that is the way that I come back. And if I press 4, then I am personally, here, the full video. And if I press 5 again, this is what it looks like. That was number 5 right there. So here you can see what you can actually achieve. Let's do it one more time. So going to this one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, unfortunately, you cannot go to 2 because that doesn't look great, but you can really make it very cool for yourself as well. So that is a way to do that. Now, how did I do that? Well, I did that, of course, by creating macros within the software itself. And I am going to show you how it looks like. But before I do, I actually need to put on this QR code right here. Let me check if it's a good one. Yes, this is the QR code. This is where you can download the example file that I use for those 5 macro buttons. So let's go ahead and show you how I did it into the software first. So here you have the software, and on the right hand side you see SuperSource. If I click on that, you see that I can actually go into the backdrop by clicking the second tab, then selecting not black but the media player 1. Boom. That would allow the gradient backdrop that you've seen before. And here you have the 4 different solutions that you already saw previously. Next to that, you can also see that below there you have a few boxes. So box 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here you can actually add the camera. Here you can select the X position, the Y position, and of course also the size. And all of those are actually the ones that you can actually also do via, well, macros. And if you don't know what a macro is really powerful for the ATEM Mini. And this is basically what it looks like right here. So you go into the oh, let me go back to the start of it like so. So like I said, this is live, guys. So here we go. So first we go to the macro button right there, and here you see the 5 that I've created for you. So this is the one that is initializing the setup. This is the second one that will zoom in to camera 2 and move camera 1 out of frame. And this one will revert back to the previous position. So that's all it does. This one will make my camera 1 bigger. And this one will again revert back to the previous one. And basically that is all I did. So that's no rocket science, but it does come with a lot of code. And this is the code that it creates right here. And I have to admit that I generated a few of them because it's not fully done by hand, just to let you know. But it actually is really something that is really nicely doable if you know what I mean. So if you download the link that you've gotten before, and then you will be able to do it all by yourself. And also please do subscribe to the channel, because that is Very helpful for me. And also don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified for future videos. That was it for today, and I really hope to see what you are coming up with. Bye bye. Thanks so much. Bye bye.